Tonight, on The Big Story, Senator Loren Legarda and Congressman Leandro Leviste could face plunder and graft charges. The ombudsman believes the mother and son team established a monopoly of solar projects that supposedly turned out damaging to Filipino consumers. But Leviste is standing by the legitimacy of his business dealings, just as he vows innocence in a so-called honey trap plot against fellow Batangueño Executive Secretary Ralph Recto. Labor groups condemn a court ruling holding off the implementation of the 85 peso daily wage hike in Metro Manila. It's not clear if NCR workers will ever get the promised reprieve. Speaking of relief, there's some coming from the pump next week, but it's still the rockets and feathers effect. Oil prices will be cheaper by only a few centavos after weeks of big-time increases. Good evening, I'm Ces Orenia Drilon. We begin with another weekend bombshell from the Office of the Ombudsman. The anti-graft agency is now going after Batangas Representative Leandro Leviste and his mother, Senator Loren Legarda. That's for supposed solar projects that were not delivered as promised. This is a big story tonight from mobile journalist Arles de los Santos.
From ghost flood control projects to ghost electricity, Senator Loren Legarda, her son, Batangas 1st District Representative Leandro Leviste, and former Energy Secretary Alfonso Cusi will undergo preliminary investigation over plunder, graft, and conflict of interest charges related to 10 billion pesos worth of solar projects. This is to determine whether there is sufficient basis or probable cause to file formal criminal charges against them. Ombudsman Boying Remulla said on Friday, the last day of July, they are looking at criminal charges over Leviste's solar energy dealings. Remulla alleged that the neophyte congressman's company failed to make good on its commitment to produce electricity, which the ombudsman claimed cost hundreds of billions of pesos in losses to the government and the Filipino people.
Di ba meron tayong mga ghost projects na binitira? Dito, ghost electricity. Pangako nila magpo-produce sila ng kuryente. Pangako nila sa Philippine Energy Plan nakalimbad itong dapat production na gagawin ng solar. Pero hindi nila ginawa. Kung meron silang ginawa, kakaunti, kakarampot. Hindi kagaya ng pinangako nila na gagawin nila.
Recently, the Department of Energy announced that Leandro Solar Philippines failed to generate the electricity it had promised to deliver within the agreed time frame. This prompted the DOE to cancel several contracts with the company and impose a 24 billion pesos fine.
Yung kay Leandro Leviste naman ay mabigat na kaso kasi yung kanilang pagkahawak na eksklusibo sa solar ay talaga nagdulot ng damage sa ating republika. Sapagkat hindi naman sila tumupad sa kanilang dapat tuparin at hindi nila ginawa yung dapat nilang gawin at para bang basta malinaw yung kaso na ang kanilang ginawa ay labag sa batas.
Remulla added that the exclusive service contracts granted to Leviste effectively prevented other Filipinos and investors from participating in the solar energy sector. The ombudsman further claimed that Filipinos suffered substantial losses because of what he described as Leviste's solar empire, which was eventually sold before even delivering electricity projects. Remulla likewise alleged that Legarda used her position as then chairperson of the Senate Finance Committee to help her son secure an exclusive franchise. Another accusation, Legarda, Leviste, and former DOE Chief Cusi conspired so that Leandro Solar Energy Network could secure many government contracts. As a result, they supposedly controlled the country's solar energy projects and locked out other investors.
Kay Loren, kasama sa kasi hindi naman makukuha ng 21-year-old, 21 lang si Leandro noon eh. Yung prangkisa na exclusive, kung hindi tinulungan ng nanay niya na chairman noon ng Finance Committee ng Senado. Parang appropriations yan ng House, Finance Committee ng Senado. At ginamit niya yung kanyang posisyon para makakuha ng prangkisa yung anak niya.
Senator Legarda, in a statement sent to reporters by her son Leviste, has called the accusation utterly baseless and a taint on her person that is totally underserved. The senator also urged the public to be discerning in light of the timing and nature of the case. Leviste, on the other hand, has not issued his statement on the matter. But as early as January, he admitted that some of his companies had failed to build solar energy infrastructure and blamed the government for it. He said that some officials were squeezing other investors, that eventually they were forced to cancel projects. As to those saying that the case is another attempt to silence critics of the administration, this is what Remulla had to say.
Masusi namin pinag-aralan to kasi this is a very novel case. Hindi ito basta-bastang maiisip na dapat gawin. Pero pag pinag-aralan mo yung nangyari sa ating energy sector sa Pilipinas, talaga nag-suffer tayo.
Actually, the Ombudsman will also file 20 counts of malversation charges against CWS Party List Representative Edwin Garjola. This is in connection with allegations that he was a contractor or a congressman who is also a contractor, which Leviste himself exposed. The Ombudsman allegedly discovered that Garjola conspired with DPWH officials, contractors, and Commission on Audit officers to divert government funds intended for flood control projects in Bulacan. Funds amounting to 879 million pesos were allegedly transferred to companies linked to Garjola. Garjola has not yet issued a response regarding this matter. And he is not the only one the Ombudsman will go after. Remulla said that 6 more congressmen could face complaints in connection with the flood control scandal. This includes former House Speaker Martin Romualdez. Romualdez, in a statement on Friday, called on the Ombudsman for equal justice. The later congressman also questioned the Ombudsman's reported use of witnesses against him, whom he claimed had already been publicly discredited. As to senators who are also facing complaints before the Ombudsman, Remulla said the cases are still under preliminary investigation. This include obstruction of justice complaints against Senator Alan Peter Cayetano and Senator Robin Padilla, accused of being party to the escape of ICC wanted Senator Bato de la Rosa.
Yes, in-acknowledge namin yan. In fact, sinulatan ko si Senator Padilla tungkol dito. Kasi nga, nagkaroon ng problema.
Kapatid Arles de los Santos, we are One News.
Attorney Manasseh Manscarpio, the husband
away ni BBM. Wala akong problema sa kanya bilang tao. May problema ako sa kanya bilang presidente. Dahil he's a weak leader and The country is in chaos. Not literal chaos na nagkakagulo tayo, physical chaos. Nagkakanya-kanya yung mga tao sa gobyerno. Wala nang respeto ang mga tao sa isa't isa. And that is my right as a citizen to express. So, wala kaming alitan na personal na dalawa. Baka para sa kanya, meron, pero para sa akin, wala. And whatever I say, whatever comment I have with his administration and with the government right now is my right to freedom of speech.
When asked to comment on the VP's recent statement, this was Palace Press Officer Claire Castro's flat reply.
Sa totoo nga, kahit hindi siya nagtatrabaho at lagi siya nasa ibang bansa, wala tayong madidinig kay Pangulong Marcos Jr. Pero bakit pinersonal ng Vice Presidente yung galit niya? Kailangan kumausap pa siya ng taong willing na gumawa ng kanyang utos na ipapatay ang Pangulong Marcos Jr., si First Lady, at ang dating House Speaker Romualdez.
It's a Friday, and of course, it calls for an assessment of the week that was in Philippine politics. And who else can weigh in than the Dalai Llamas himself, Mr. Ronald Llamas. Welcome once again to the big story.
Magandang gabi, Ses, pero who else? Mukhang marami naman pwede.
You know, the sauna of the president seems like a faraway event. It happened last
week.
Monday lang. Pero parang ang dami kasing nangyari. So let's first go to, well, another press conference from the Ombudsman. And this time saying that a case will be filed against the senator and her son.
Yes.
Loren Legarda and her son, Congressman Leandro Leviste.
Isa yun, marami siyang pinaliwanag dyan. No? Pati yung franchise na nakuha Pati yun, tinilad-tilad niya. At hindi ko sigurado kung kasama si former Energy Secretary Cusi.
Kasama.
Oo, dahil nga binanggit din niya yun. Ikalawa, binanggit din niya yung obstruction of justice laban na kay Senator Robin Padilla at saka kay Alan Peter Cayetano. Hindi niya binanggit, pero binanggit ni Senator Ping Lacson na dinala na niya sa ombudsman yung mga nadiskubre niyang mga anomalya sa Taguig.
Alam mo, ayan naman, selective justice ang maririnig natin sa
Of course.
kanila. Ba't ka tumatawa?
Sabi ko kasi, dahil sabi ko nga dati dito, no? Ang problema kasi sa selective justice, even before nangyari itong impeachment, even before nangyari itong crisis sa Senado several months ago, talaga namang mga kasama nila sa minority yung may mga kaso Nadagdag lang itong obstruction of justice. Itong kila Leviste, kay Loren, dati pa yang lumalabas last year pa So hindi yan mga bago. Ang medyo bago yung obstruction of justice at saka in a way yung DPWH Ghost Project sa Taguig.
Okay, pero itong mabalik tayo kay Senator Legarda. Itong franchise na binigay, of course, yung anak niya ang unang nagkaroon.
Yes.
Right? And it was her committee that crafted that measure. Medyo, may conflict of interest.
Nung una ko napanood dyan sa yung Senate hearing tungkol dyan, ni-raise nga yan ni Senator Franklin De Leon noon, no? Na nasan yung AOR? Ba't hindi, parang generic approval ng isang franchise na hindi malinaw.
Nationwide
hindi malinaw saan gagawin, etc. Kaya nung napanood ko yan, sabi ko, parang weird nun, no? Why do you approve a franchise na hindi malinaw yung mga specifics, no? Pero naaprubahan dahil nga yung head ng committee on energy ay si no less than the mother herself, no? Na dapat nag-inhibit na at that time Kaya tuloy ay hanggang doon inuungkat ni Ombudsman. Paano ba nangyari ito? Pero yung pinakamalaking issue ay na-deliver ba yung commitment do sa franchise?
Exactly, kasi kahit naman hindi ang Ombudsman, Secretary Garin had been saying this for a while now.
Yes.
Pero it's catching up on the minority, these, nauungkat yung mga dati nilang nagawa, like Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, yung kanyang supposed, meron pala sa Taguig. Ghost
Yes.
project ba yun? Or ano ba ang nature nitong,
It's a combination ng mga ghost projects. Halimbawa,
at saka substandard?
at saka yung hindi lang substandard, no? Yung talagang hindi na-deliver or mga fake na mga...
Accomplishment report.
Yes, halimbawa, isang project ay pare-pareho, iba-iba ang mga projects, iba-iba ang contractors, pero pare-pareho ang picture, ang billing, pare-pareho.
Yung patunay ay iisa.
Iisa
Isang
lang.
litrato.
So, ibig sabihin, na-quadruple yung project. No? At nakakatawa, pag makikita mo halimbawa yung mga pictures, same pictures, same geo tagging, no? Pero iba yung billing, iba yung contractor, no? Iba yung fully paid, 4. No? May iba pa, ang dami pa. Kaya tingin ko kung sino man yung mga nakinabang dito, dahil ang sabi ni Senator Ping Lacson, alam na namin yung mga bagmen, hindi bagmen. At doon sa bagmen, merong isa pang mas malaking bagman, at doon sa bagman, merong pang isang pinaka-bagman. So, ibig sabihin, talagang niresearch ng husto ito ni Senator Ping Lacson. No?
Pero bakit hindi ito ginawa ni Senator Lacson when he was chair of the Blue Ribbon Committee? Dahil lang ba, sinabihan siya ni Senator Cayetano na bakit dumoble, quadruple pala ang kanyang salin, ang kanyang net worth.
Well, yes and no. Una ay may iba kasing nakasalang
Parang
noon
do not cross me.
Oo. Yung una kasi, ang nakasalang noon, karamihan ng mga sa Bulacan. Di ba? Ang mga testigo noon, puro
Yung
mga
mga
taga Bulacan.
PGC boys.
Di ba? Ikalawa ay si Yusek Bernardo, nakafocus naman doon sa mga binigyan niya ng billions. Malalaki yun, di ba? Kumbaga, nag-unfold pa lang yung Blue Ribbon noon nung natanggal sila. Di ba natanggal sila sa Blue Ribbon?
Yes.
So, hindi nagpatuloy, di ba? Hindi
okay.
nagpatuloy.
So
Tapos, may several...
But nasa na niya yan? Nasa radar na niya?
Yes. Tapos, allegedly, ay nung siya yung hinamon, siya yung nilink sa corruption, yung nadoble yung kanyang salin, na ang kanyang paliwanag, hindi lang nadoble, quadruple. Diba? Tapos, sinabi na tumanggap siya ng maleta na wala namang katibayan. Talagang nagalit siya. Kaya, mas pinadali niya. Hindi na niya pinadaan sa Blue Ribbon. Diniretso na niya sa ombudsman. No?
Ombudsman.
At allegedly, parang yung kapatid ni Senator Alan Peter na dating mayor ng Taguig ay tumulong din allegedly dito. So nagpatong-patong kaya napabilis. Tapos sabi rin niya ay tumulong din ang DPWH para ibigay sa kanya yung mga yung geotagging, yung mga pirmado na mga... Dahil hindi naman niya makukuha niyan, makukumpleto yan ang walang tulong ng DPWH. So, maraming tumulong.
Kumbaga parang airtight na ba ang kaso niya kaya?
Sa Pilipinas...
Matutuwa kaya si Ombudsman Boying Remulla sa hinain ni
Sa
Senator
Pilipinas
Lacson?
naman, wala namang airtight. Diba? Eto nga si
Oo nga.
Bong Revilla,
Yes.
nabigyan ng...
Worrisome yun because the ombudsman is saying na kaya it's taking time because he wants the cases to be airtight. And here, he is out on bail.
Yes.
So-
At ito kasing kaso niya is malversation with falsification of public documents which is non-bailable. No? Hindi ko alam kung ano yung specific na sinasabi ng Sandigan Bayan na hindi siya ganun ka-strong yung kaso. Hindi ko alam yung proseso niyan, pero baka may mag-appeal din yan dahil nga non-bailable yan. Kung mahina yung kaso, edi dun sa hatol. No? Pabilisin nila yung proseso ng trial at saka yung judgment. Pero hindi natin alam yan. No?
Parang that's medyo setback yan for the ombudsman, di ba?
Yes, dahil siya yung nag-file niyan sa Sandigan Bayan. No?
Once again, we are appreciative na nagpe-press con si ombudsman and telegraphing all his punches. But parang when he does that kasi, in a way, it binds him di ba? To deliver.
Pero after kasi ng SONA, at sinabi ng presidente na yan ay nasa kamay na ng ombudsman at mamadaliin na yan, kinakailangan din niya mag-deliver, no?
Wala siyang announcement kay Martin Romualdez today. Ibang personages ang mga sinabi niya.
Yes, dahil nga ang sumagot din yung grupo ni Martin Romualdez na ano bang ebidensya laban sa amin? Yung 8 na Marines dun sa 18.
Right.
Ang problema, hindi ba tainted yan? Yun ang sagot nila, di ba? Unless may iba pang ebidensya, yung ombudsman, na hindi pa natin alam. Na
Yun na
allegedly, yun yung role ni Bonoan.
Well,
Kaya
but
siya ginawang state
nakabinbin
witness.
pa yung kanyang
Pagiging state witness.
Pagiging state witness. But let's go to yesterday was another big day kasi tama ang prediction mo, inaprubahan ni BBM ang pag-release. And mukhang, I won't say truck, pero van. According to Attorney Lorna Capunan, isang bangko pa lang, 3 van na daw ang dokumento. Mahirapan din ang prosecution to make sense of all of these papers and documents, di ba?
Well, meron naman sila mga staff na susuri niyan pero ang tingin ko ay inayos lang nila yung proseso. Yung sabi ko nga dati na dahil ang nagkuhan kasi yung House Justice Committee,
Right.
parang mali yung proseso, dapat ang nag-request niyan yung
Yung
Senate as a trial court. Kaya sinooli nila. At katulad din nangyari nung panahon ni Corona ay pinirmahan
Ni Pinoy.
ng presidente na yan ay gamitin sa trial. Kaya nga, walang masabi sila Mads Carpio.
Well, sinabi niya, ang defense niya, kung merong something questionable, dapat tinawag na sila ng BIR. But that is not the reason why these documents are being
Sui generis
subpoenaed.
Tawag dyan Sui generis, no? Yung impeachment court ang nag-request, hindi na kailangan dyan yung mga usual processes, no? Dahil nga, very distinct yung impeachment.
Plus, it's really to be able to ibabangga mo lahat ng mga
mga
ebidensya dun sa
bank accounts,
tax returns ni VP,
Yes.
nilang mag-asawa.
Oo, parang sa SALN, tax returns, tapos yung, ano ba yung pumasok sa mga bank accounts na naaprubahan last week na ililift na yung bank secrecy laws at ire-request na yan. No? Ibang usapin pa kung yan ay gagamitin as evidence. Pero at the very least ay isasabpina na yan para yan ay pag-aralan kung magagamit as evidence
Dumating
dito
na
sa...
nga yung iba Pero ang we are still in the confidential funds. And
Yes.
next week, ipipresent ng mga COA officials, right? Ngayon, ito, I asked Attorney Lorna this and I'd like to ask you, hindi ba madumi rin ang kamay ng Congress in a sense? Because why did they pass that bigyan ng confidential funds ang DepEd? At that time, allies, uniteam pa sila noon. So,
Well,
don't you think that's also, meron din silang kasalanan?
wala namang may clean hands dito. Di ba? Tayo, dahil wala tayo sa gobyerno, medyo malinis-linis yung kamay natin, di ba?
Huwag mo kong isali dyan.
Kanya nga, di ba, mga congressman
Oo nga,
yung kakasuhan,
kaya nga,
di ba?
Parang, it's an irony for me.
Well,
Because in the first place, they gave it to her. Of course, they didn't tell her misuse it, but ibigyan naman ng intelligence funds ang DepEd. Ano nila yun?
ini-infiltrate to kasi ng mga insurgents, ng mga komunista, ang mga eskwelahan, di ba? Kaya, pero nagulat ako doon sa laki dahil nung panahon namin, konti lang ng intelligence fund. Pero mo, National Security Advisor, 1 million lang yung intelligence fund.
Ganun ba?
Head ng lahat ng intelligence agency, di ba?
Kaya nga, naging generous ang Kongreso sa kanya.
Lumaki na lumaki yung intelligence fund. Na akala nila ay hindi i-audit. May rules dyan ang COA . Hindi yan yung usual auditing system. Pero meron pa rin yung auditing kahit papano.
Yun ang ipipresent nila this week. Kasi parang yung land bank branch managers were just saying na ito yung funds, ganito nila withdraw in cash. But
Halos
if you-
hindi nga kinross-examine ng defense
Oo nga.
Ba't nila i-cross-examine? Very factual.
Yeah, very factual.
Oo, hindi naman mga political yan Teller, bank
Pero
manager.
can she not can her defense be, kasi intelligence nga, kailangan bayaran mo ng cash. Hindi naman pwedeng cheque-cheque yung kunyari, may pagbibigyan ka ng pera. Di ba?
Mas ang issue naman dyan, sinabi naman kasi unusual but not illegal.
Yeah.
Hindi naman yun ang issue, non-sequitur naman yun.
Yeah, that's-
Ang usapin dito ay ginamit ba talaga, di ba? Yun yung magiging issue dito next week. Kaya nga ipapatawag si Piatos.
Oo.
Di ba?
Paano yun?
Oo.
Siyempre hindi siya mag-a-appear dahil hindi siya
Di,
nag-exist.
sasabihin ng prosecution, wala yan walang birth certificate na Piatos, walang marriage certificate, walang death certificate. Therefore, he or she doesn't exist, like all the others.
Okay. But they haven't yet stood up. I think it's every Wednesday, di ba? Na hinihingi nilang yung ibinibigay yung witnesses na dapat bigyan ng sabina. Wala pa. Hindi pa.
Wala pa.
Hindi pa nasasabi.
Tinanong ko nga kay Congressman Terry Redon kahapon kung ipapatawag ba si Colonel La Chica, yung allegedly nag-distribute ng 125 million. No? Dahil siyempre, yun ang nakakaalam kung kanino ibinigay. Kung gaano karaming Piatos yung pinagbigyan, at saka tempura, at saka nova, at saka chippy, no? At saka cheese curls. No? Ikalawa, si Madriaga, papatawag ba? Si Madriaga kasi sa Justice Committee nagsabi, hindi lang 11 days yan inubos, 1 day lang. At kasama ako sa nag-distribute niyan. Sabi ni
Terry
Congressman
Ridon,
Terry Ridon, wala pang final na decision.
Okay. Mabalik tayo dito sa case, I forgot to ask you, dahil hindi kaya laban ito ng mga malalakas sa Batangas. Because apparently, Congressman Leviste was intending to do some entrapment of the executive secretary. Totoo ba ito?
Sabi nung allegedly ginamit na bugaw, na pimp, at saka yung allegedly gagamitin ng mga babae, parang tumestigo sila na meron nga. Diba? Meron nga. Pero narinig ko lang dati yung honey trap nung Cold War between the CIA and KGB. Ginagamit yan di ba? Tawag dyan compromat. Compromat, no? Although isang term din dyan, honey trap, no? Kaya
So
parang spy versus spy yung labanan dito, no? Parang intelligence, counterintelligence.
Yeah. But, so, of course, naalala natin na merong sagutan si ES Recto and Congressman Leviste. Remember na parang maraming maanghang na statement si ES na
Yes, may chismis nga dati nung Senate leadership crisis na chismis lang naman.
Okay.
Na
Ano
willing
tong-
daw tumalon si Senator Loren Legarda kung tatanggalin si ES Recto as ES. May ganun chismis dati. Kaya talagang may bad blood dyan, di ba? Pero mahirap na gamitin nila Senator Loren Legarda at ni Congressman Libiste yung selective justice. Dahil hindi daw kinakasuhan yung kanilang mga kalaban sa Batangas. Mukhang kinasuhan din yung kanilang mortal na kaaway.
Si
Si
Garjola.
Congressman Garjola, nakakampi daw allegedly ni ES Recto, according to Libiste. May kaso rin
so, hindi pwedeng gamitin.
yung selective
kumbaga
justice.
tabla. Pero itong tatanungin ko sa'yo. And please answer, hindi tayo nakatira sa kuweba, as you say. How is the arm's length of the ombudsman and the president? Anong relasyon? Kumukuha, do they ever, what's the reality?
Well, theoretically, ay sabi nga natin, kung nasa kuweba tayo, walang relasyon yan. No? But in the real world, no, lalo na galing siya sa cabinet, yung kapatid niya nasa isang pinaka-powerful cabinet position, yung kanyang tao ay secretary pa ng DOJ. So kahit paano, bagamat wala namang aamin, may mga informal relationship yan. No? gaano
So especially with the ES, sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Of course, ang sasabihin ko, wala namang aamin. No? At,
Pero yung realidad, di ba?
Oo, yung realidad. Pag kalabang ka ng gobyerno, kalabang ka ng presidente, siyempre, mas
Tatanong ka
mabilis.
sa listahan,
Mas
oo.
mabilis,
Oo.
di ba? Mas mabilis.
You see, that's why it can be a distraction sinabi ni Pangulo, unang-una niyang banggit sa kanyang SONA, hindi ako presidente ng aking pamilya, etc.
Yeah.
Oh, remember when those words were said by ERAP, the reverse happened. Di ba? Oh,
Pero nung panahon kasi ni Era,
So-
wala naman siyang kinasuhan na kamag-anak. Ito meron eh. No? Kaya yun ang pagmamalaki.
hindi pa nakakasuhan, hindi pa.
Nasa preliminary investigation pa lang. Pero baka mahirapan siyang bawiin eh. Dahil yun yung main,
main
takeaway sa kanyang SONA.
Right.
Di ba?
Right.
At last year pa yan napag-usapan eh. Nung sinuggest ni Secretary Vince Dizon at saka ICI member Babe Singson, nakasuhan na. Pero yun nga, we have yet to see ano ba yung ebidensya at ano yung smoking gun. Unlike do sa iba, na nakita natin yung mga smoking guns at yung mga ebidensya in the hundreds of millions, in the billions.
Bakit mahirap? Magaling siya. Kasi I think nabanggit ni Boying yun before, Ombudsman Boying, na maraming layers ng, I guess, companies. Yung parang hindi lumalabas si dating speaker. Di ba pwede? If you want to hide your wealth, ganun ang gagawin mo.
Pwede, pero wala akong personal knowledge dahil wala akong wealth. Ikaw baka.
Hindi. Sus, walang...
Usually, sa mga ganyang mga mayayaman, may layers yan.
Yun
May
na
mga
nga.
firewall yan. May mga, kanyan, may mga dummies, no? Etc. Unless yung mga dummies mo ay tumestigo laban sa'yo, no? Halimbawa, ang nag-i-implicate sa kanya directly si Saldico. Wala naman si Saldico rito. Tapos yung isa nag-i-implicate si Gutesa.
Oo
Hanggang
nga,
ngayon,
nawawala.
Di pa natin nakikita si Gutesa. Yung nag-implicate sa kanya na 18 Marines, parang na-taint yung ebidensya nila dahil
Because
nga
kung
sa
sino-sino
dagdag
na-
bawas.
tama,
No?
tama.
Pero kukunin daw doon yung 8. Hindi ko alam kung paano gagawin yon. Dahil nga
Hindi
yung
kasi dati, parang yung affidavit nila as a group. Di ba? Ang gusto nila, isa-isa. Na we'll see, but alam mo, time is running out. Di ba? So, and the president, well, let's go to the SONA. While it was, you liked his speech. Many liked his SONA. Right?
Well, knowing yung ating sitwasyon, it was a good speech. Sa dami ng ating problema, na parang sinasabi niya sa mga tao, tutulungan ko kayo in the here and now. No? Aayusin ko ang inyong tax relief, aayusin ko yung presyo ng kuryente, aayusin ko yung mga ayuda, no? Bababa ko yung problema sa inflation, dadagdagan ko yung inyong sahod. Although yung iba dyan, medyo may na-backpedal na. Paano binawi yung pagtaas ng sahod?
Okay. Or yung dynasty, anti-dynasty measure, dati niyang sinabi yon to, I guess, assuage the anger, di ba? Na
Yes.
kasi yan ang root cause din ng corruption. Pero hindi niya sinabi.
Hindi niya nabanggit. Oo. Hindi rin niya nabanggit yung upper middle income country na tayo. Na, di ba?
Oo nga.
Hindi rin niya nabanggit yun. Siguro, baka...
Sabi mo, yun ang babanggitin niya,
baka
pagmamalaki niya yun.
baka
kasi
na-realize niya, baka magalit yung tao na hindi naman nila naramdaman. Di ba?
totoo
Yung
naman,
ganun ba?
totoo
Baka
naman.
on second thought, baka nagkaganon di ba?
But based on the Okta survey, yung corruption is still a concern almost as much as inflation is.
Yes. Oo.
So they need to really make up for lost time dahil wala sila masyadong na-report. In fact, parang finorgive natin siya dahil sinabi niyang hindi siya presidente ng kanyang pamilya pero wala siya masyadong accomplishment sa
Kaya
flood
ang focus
control.
niya is primarily relief, primarily amelioration. Dahil alam niya, practically, 1 year na lang siya eh. Yung second year kasi, kampanya na yan eh.
Correct.
So dito siya nag-focus na ano ba yung kagyat, tawag niyang kagyat, na benepisyo na makukuha ng mga tao. Hindi na niya pinag-usapan yung mga structural problems eh. Di ba? Hindi na niya masyadong tinalakay yan. Ang tinalakay niya ay yung sikmura issues, yung
Diretso sa
health
taong
issues,
bayan. Diretso.
expansion ng PhilHealth, yung kuryente issues, no?
Ito ang gusto kong tanungin sa'yo. Yung health, sinabi niya na ang MAIPIP ay gagawin ng digital and directly ibibigay na ng PhilHealth.
Hindi ka nadadaan sa mga politiko.
Correct. Sabi niya
diba?
wala ng GLG. Ano ba yun? Yung
Yung guarantee letter.
Oh, yun.
Oo, diretso
And
ka
medyo
na.
natawa siya. Medyo natawa siya.
Tapos-
Kaya ba niyang gawin yon?
Tapos sinubukan ng iba, oo nga, meron ngang website tungkol doon. No?
So,
tinest nila.
Okay.
Oo.
Kaya ba? Dahil we are entering, as you said, kampanya na. Di, syempre magagalit ang mga kongresista. Kailangan nila yan.
Yes. Ang tanong ko lang ay gaano siya ka-sustainable. Dahil yung fiscal space natin manipis. Ang trade deficit, malaki.
Malaki.
Tapos wala ka naman masyadong pagkukuhanan ng bagong utang. Dahil nga may global crisis, hindi ganun kadaling makautang ngayon. At kung sakaling meron man, mataas ang interest rates. So gaano ka-sustainable ang ayuda economics? No? Kung hindi mo naman na-develop yung mga productive forces ng iyong economy. Although nabanggit niya yung Pax Silica. Ang sabi ni Vice President, Pax Sili something, di ba? So,
Sili, yung manghang ba?
manghang, oo. So, nabanggit naman niya yan. Paano? Game changer yan. Possible game changer. Of course, wala pang substance. Ang nakita pa lang natin is the brochure.
Oo. Hindi, tas idagdag ko pa. Tax relief. O di, tatama na naman ang revenue raising measures ng gobyerno, di ba?
Yun nga, na usually kasi pag
Dapat sa tax nila kunin yun.
magsasabi ka na babawasan mo rito sa revenue, sa mo kukunin.
Yun na nga.
Hindi niya in-specify yun.
Yeah.
At least hindi pa. Di ba? So yung sinasabi ng iba, sustainable ba yan? Hanggang kailan yan? Dahil yung Iran War, hindi pa naman natatapos. Ang tawag doon, the forever war. Di ba?
Right. So are you seeing this as empty promises lang?
Hindi naman. Siguro ang usapin lang ay saan kukunin yung pag-sustain. No? Saan kukunin yung pag-sustain? Tingin ko yung part niyan ay pwede lang simulan. Yung other parts ay kailangan pang makita kung saan kukunin. Yan ba ay kukunin sa matitipid sa anti-corruption? Hindi pa natin sigurado yan. Yan ba ay kukunin sa ibang assets ng gobyerno na hindi naman ginagamit? No? Ibebenta mo? O, yan ba ay kukunin sa mga GOCC na malaki ang pondo? Halimbawa, PhilHealth, dami yan. Ang GSIS, marami yan. Ang SSS, marami yan. Although may
So
sariling...
dapat ipaliwanag nila, hindi ba?
Yes. Dahil hindi naman pwedeng tayo nagpapaliwanag lagi.
Tama. Paging, press officer, Auntie Claire. Di ba? Huwag lang puro tira. Huwag lang puro sagot kay VP Sara. Maybe you should explain how this will be parang yung meat behind the sauna.
Yes, ang tanong niya, where's the beef? Kaya yung mga economists, yun ang kanilang concern eh. Saan kukunin yung mawawalang revenues at yung, huwag mong kalimutan, record high yung proposed budget. No? 7 point something trillion, di ba? Oo.
Every year naman kailangan daw taasan talaga.
Not necessarily. Dahil kung mababa ang growth rate mo, tapos mataas ang iyong proposed budget, lalong tataas yung iyong deficit. No? Lalo kang hindi magiging...
Kawawa yung successor.
Hindi lang yun. Yung mga investors, titignan yung fundamentals na yan eh. Baka mabawasan yung mag-i-invest sa'yo kung ganyan yung problema. No? So, not necessarily.
Napunta tayo sa economy. Thank you for your... economist ka na rin.
Drop out nga, di ba?
So anong mangyayari sa ating, siguro, ano na lang, fearless forecast for next week? Sige.
Well, tingin ko yung hindi pinagtalunan last Wednesday tungkol dyan sa Confidential Intelligence Fund, yung fireworks mangyayari next week. Dahil dyan na pag-uusapan saan napunta. No? Dyan na pag-uusapan na 250,000 sa isang safe house, no? Parang masyadong, ano yan, Ritz Hotel. Diyan na lalabas yan lahat. Diyan na yung bungguan. At diyan natin
Hindi na
makikita.
tayo maiinip.
Again, oo.
Yan ang prediction mo, ha? Sige nga, tignan natin.
Yes, oo. Dahil
Pero yung
sana
po-
wala nang splicing ng mga, no? ng mga video, no? Napanood naman na lahat. Ba't mo i-splice pa, di ba?
Quiet si Senator Pia Cayetano nung last Wednesday.
Sabi niya, no comment. Oo, yun ang sabi niya, no comment.
So, tignan natin.
Paano? Dalawang compelling na kaso, posible yan eh. Ethics Committee at saka disbarment case.
All right, tignan natin kung may fireworks talaga. Always a pleasure having you here. One News resident, political pundit. Ano sabi ko?
Pati ikaw, nabubulol na.
Ronald Llamas, thank you so much. Have a good
You're most
weekend.
welcome.
You are watching The Big Story in One News. When we return, former Senator Bong Revilla gets temporary freedom.
At tuturo niya pa yung mga kasama ko, sila raw nag-approach sa kanya para magsadya. Bakit siya lalapitan ng mga kasama ko sa majority na mag-ceasefire? Wala naman siyang damage na ginagawa sa amin, pigtatawanan nga siya. Yung mga manifestation niya sa floor, pati yung kontrasona niya, pigtatawanan nga siya lang ng mga kasama ko sa majority. Hindi nga kami nakinig eh. Nagmerienda na lang kami sa lounge eh.
Senator Ping Lacson there during an interview earlier with our sister show Storycon. At length, he discussed his word war with Senator Alan Peter Cayetano over allegedly anomalous projects in the former Senate President's bailiwick of Taguig City. We'll have more on that story in a bit. Several groups blasted the temporary restraining order on the wage hike in Metro Manila. The Labor Department has also vowed to take action, hinting it was bypassed in the process. News 5's Mon Gualvez reports.
Mapunta po yun sa, lalo na sa bigas, sa pang-ulam. Lalo ngayon, may kalis akong pinaaral.
Ramon, a janitor, could only lament the 85 peso minimum wage hike that was put on hold by the Pasig Regional Trial Court. He had already computed and allotted for expenses based on this salary increase. Now, he could only hope that the pay hike will be granted again and higher if possible.
Kung tutusin, yung 85 pesos, kulang ho yan eh.
Bakit?
Dahil sa bilihin ngayon, sir eh. Yung magkano ngayon sa, compare ano lang natin, sample yung mga kamatis, sibuyas, ang mamahal eh. Kulang na kulang talaga yan, sir. Sana po, hindi lang 85 pesos ang idadagdag. Sana po, ipatas naman nila sa kung gaano kataas yung bilihin saka yung sahod.
The first tranche of the wage hike, 60 pesos, had taken effect on July 25 based on DOLE's NCR Wage Order number 27. But two construction companies took the issue to court, saying the abrupt mandated increase will severely impact them. In effect, this initial hike will entirely be absorbed by their budget, which could result in, among others, a reduction of workforce and possible suspension of operations. The Pasig RTC Branch 152 agreed and issued a TRO to prevent irreversible injury to the petitioners. The court also said that the Constitution does not only guarantee the rights of the labor force, but the right of businesses to earn and grow as well. On One Balita Pilipinas, Employers Confederation of the Philippines President Sergio Ortiz Luis said they objected to the wage hike during deliberations.
Computation namin ay 50 lang pesos, ano? Pero nagbutuhan, natalo kami. Ang nanalo yung labor tsaka yung government agencies sa 85. We respect the decision kasi yun naman talaga yung proseso, no? And we respect that at susundin namin.
But the Trade Union Congress of the Philippines vowed to contest the TRO.
Kini-question din namin yung agarang issuance ng TRO ng Pasig RTC. Dahil tingin namin walang basihan para mag-issue ng TRO because kung gusto nilang may questionin dun sa wage order, dapat umakyat sila sa NWPC. Isa po itong malaking sampal, insulto po sa mga manggagawa at sa mismong institusyon po ng gobyerno patungkol sa pagtatakda ng sahod.
For their part, health workers and other labor groups staged a noise barrage in Manila to lament the lack of action of the Department of Labor and Employment on the matter.
Yung 85 pesos, kakarampot na nga lang, barya na nga lang, 2 gives hulugan installment, tapos sinuspinde pa. Ang panawagan ng mga manggagawa, 200 piso, wage recovery. Prohibition against injunction. Ibig sabihin, hindi po pwedeng maglabas ng TRO ang any courts laban sa mga wage order or any proceedings of the commission or the wage boards. And this creates a very dangerous precedent. Ibig sabihin, kung hindi gusto ng mga negosyante, yung mga negosyante pwedeng tumakbo sa korte to secure a TRO.
In response, the Labor Department is preparing to question the TRO with the help of the Office of the Solicitor General. Dole insisted it followed legal protocols before coming up with the 85 peso wage hike. They also said appeals on wage orders should have been coursed through the National Wages and Productivity Commission or NWPC.
Ang dapat apela, exhaustion of administrative remedy, meaning from RTWPB sa amin, dapat mag-apela sila sa NWPC. Kung meron silang prayer for TRO, dapat po may magpo-post ng bond. At ito ay dapat sa lahat ng mga minimum wage earners, hindi lang po sa isang specific sector po.
Maging kalmado tayo ngayon, hintayin natin ang magiging resulta ng desisyon ng isang co-equal branch. Ginagalang natin ng judiciary, ginawa natin ang para sa kapakanan ng mga manggagawang Pilipino. Subalit tumatalima tayo sa pinag-uutos ng husgado.
For News 5, Mon Gualvez, we are One News.
Former Senator Bong Revilla is a free man. Contractors recycled photographs of projects to duplicate billings. The senator revealed the irregularities go way beyond flood control projects and involve reclamation and other initiatives in Taguig that could potentially impact the environment.
Ang ginagawa, yung iisang photo na pareho yung grid coordinates, pareho yung geotagging method na ginamit ng DPWH, ang pinapalitan lang yung petsa. Madali makita kasi sabi ko nga, pati yung anino ng poste pareho kaya madali makonclude na one and the same photo. Imagine yung photograph na yun gagamitin 4 na beses.
Lacson said the money trail, testimonials, and other evidence about Taguig's alleged anomalous projects are now up for the Ombudsman's evaluation. While refusing to provide more information, Lacson said Senator Alan Peter Cayetano has links to the irregularities. The majority senator added Cayetano has crossed the line when he questioned his integrity.
Kung yun ang babato sa akin, malinis, wala akong may babato sa kanya. Pero kung ang babato sa akin, maraming putik, maraming kasalanan din, humanda siya. Talaga hindi ko siya titigilan. Kasi ready talaga ako makipagbardagulan pagdating sa mga anomalya.
This is a big story on One News. Coming up is another battle between two government officials. This time, it's between the executive secretary and the congressman of the 1st District of Batangas. The twist? The disagreement has supposedly gone the road of blackmail. Welcome back to the big story. The National Bureau of Investigation is set to summon Batangas Congressman Leandro Leviste and former cabinet official Jing Paras over an alleged plan to weave a damaging story against Executive Secretary Ralph Recto. The NBI arrested one talent manager last Tuesday and rescued 5 women in an anti-human trafficking operation at a hotel in Manila. After the arrest, the suspect supposedly revealed a deeper motive.
Hindi lang si ES ang target dito, parang it's one of the many plano nila gustong gamitin itong grupo na to para magano ng character assassination yung parang term na ginamit. So, doon na lumabas yung istorya na na-involved na si former Congressman Jing Paras. Siya yung kumausap. Kumontak dito sa PIMP, itong nagbubugaw nito. Ang tawag ko dito si Epstein ng Pilipinas.
The scheme will allegedly link Recto in lascivious activities and eventually ruin his reputation. According to NBI Director Melvin Matibag, it was Leviste who bankrolled the operation, promising to pay 5 million pesos to the participants.
Base dun sa kwento nung inimbestigahan, sasabihin daw na si Executive Secretary kumukuha doon sa bugaw na to at pinipilit silang mag-drugs tapos pipilitin din sila na magkaroon ng mga sexual activities na umamin naman na itong babae na hindi niya kilala talaga si Executive Secretary, na hindi niya nakakasama. Lumabas, may mas malalim na political na siguro may ugnay na namin to sa destabilization. So we will investigate this. Papatawag natin si dating Congressman Jing Paras at si Congressman Leandro Leviste na according sa statement nitong mga to, ang magpopondo doon sa gastos dahil malaking amount yung ibibigay ay si Congressman Leandro Leviste.
In a message to News 5, ES Recto says he is leaving the matter to the NBI. On Facebook last night, Leviste hinted that he had nothing to do with a top government official accused of womanizing. Then today, he flatly denied hatching a plot against Recto. Paras, for his part, said in a post this afternoon that he will respond to the accusations in due time. Paras and his allies are reportedly holding a media conference next week. And now on to another story. Renewed Middle East tensions are threatening a possible decrease in pump prices next week. Estimates from the DOE Oil Industry Management Bureau show diesel prices falling by 50 centavos per liter on Tuesday, August 4, gasoline by 80 centavos, and kerosene by 2 pesos and 30 centavos. These figures are based on 4 days of trading at the benchmark mean of Platts, Singapore. OIMB Director Rino Abad tells True FM
For regards to LPG, it will happen on Monday. It will be an increase, the equivalent of $40 per metric ton. So we are just waiting for the computation of the Department of Energy.
And let's end the week by celebrating another milestone for Filipino artists. Our big picture tonight, the king of P-pop, SB19, is the first Filipino act to perform at Lollapalooza, one of the world's biggest and most influential music festivals. Amid Philippine flags being waved at Chicago's Grace Park, SB19 a 10-song set featuring their biggest tracks. The P-pop group joined a roster of global names like Lorde, Charlie XCX, and Jenny.